Hello?
Hey, brother Rob, how you doing?
Hey, brother Jacob, what's up? What's up? You're live on air.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother,
good show, man.
yeah, brother Aaron Staley is
Yeah,
calling at the same time, man. Let me close his call. Someone and also someone other guy wants to call. Three calls at the same time, guys. Take it easy. Sorry, brother Jacob. Go ahead. Guys, don't call. Three people called me at the same time. Wow. Go ahead, bro.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw your video that you did yesterday about the wine, about Jesus, cursing the fig tree, and you was doing a rebuttal against,
Yeah, that was not yesterday. That was the day before. That was the day.
yeah, the
before.
day before, yeah,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
yeah, the day before, and you had brought up a point that Shamoun had made.
Yes.
And then the guy, the Muslim warrior, he made a rebuttal video.
That donkey, yeah.
Yeah, he made a rebuttal video.
Yeah.
But I want to bring something up to get him busted live on the air.
Yeah.
Okay?
Go
Now,
ahead.
here's the thing. The Muslims, they always be like, why did Jesus curse the fig tree? And the fig tree was innocent. And if Jesus is all knowing, why he didn't know what season the fig tree was in. So
What an idiot,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So the Muslim warrior guy, he said, well, Rob Christian was lying because if you read the verse before 11:13, it says that Jesus was hungry and he went to the fig tree expecting it to be bearing fruit. So what he did, he went and he found. He didn't use the KJV translation. He went to some Christian site and he drafted some.
He didn't even go to Bible Hub or official Bible website or Bible Gateway. Yeah, he went to some imaginary so-called Christian website. But you see here on the screen, brother Jacob. Can you see the screen? You
I can't see the screen right now.
Let me read something for you, bro. And I know that you know about it. And remember, guys, as you said in the Bible, you know, if you go to the Bible, let's say KJV version, you'll see that it's clearly saying it's not the time of the figs, right? It's not the season of the figs. So when Jesus, you know, when the figs leaves appear about the end of March, because it's in March, it's spring, right? It's not the time of the real fig fruit. So they are accompanied by a crop of small knobs called teksh. Again, teksh. What are teksh, guys? Those are, it's actually an Aramaic word and also Arabs use it. Teksh by the Arabs, a sort of forerunner. So it's a pre-fruit that grows in March. And when they grow, these teksh grow, that means that there are going to be real figs when it's time for the real figs to grow. So teksh, those are the edible, you can eat them. Those are tiny small knobs which poor people used to go and eat. You know, the farmers used to allow them to eat. And remember, Jesus came from where? He came from Bethany. What does Bethany means? Beth means house. Ani means the house of the poor. So when Jesus was hungry, I mean, guys, Jesus, when he was crucified, he was at the age of 33. Jesus is from that area. The Jews are in that area. They know all about fig trees. So when Jesus, right, in the time, in the spring, in March, when he was looking for fruit, he was looking for teksh. And the verse, if you go to the verse, you will understand the verse is saying it's not time, it's not the season for it. So Jesus was looking for teksh. These Muslim idiots, they don't know the difference between teksh and they don't know the difference between the figs that come after. So these teksh are eaten by peasants and other poor people when hungry. So when Jesus was hungry, he was looking for teksh. They drop off before the real fig is formed. But if the leaves of the tree appear unaccompanied by teksh, that means the fig fruit will not grow on that tree when it's time of the real figs that you see here. So you need to have taksh as forerunner, else there are not going to be figs on the tree, and the farmers are going to cut down those trees because those trees will not bear fruit anymore. This is why Jesus cursed the fig tree. Go ahead, bro.
Right. Right. And to add to what you were saying, I got him busted on YouTube in the comments section because under his little video, and I told him that he was trying to make a big deal saying, oh, well, it says that Jesus was hungry. So he went to the fig tree because he thought food was on the fig tree. But I got him busted because I told him, I said, Abdul, everything in the Bible is told because it has a significance.
Yes.
I said
everything has a reason, right? Everything has a reason.
Right. And I said the reason why it said Jesus was hungry because it was correlating with the fig tree, which was later going to be used to bring out a spiritual truth. And then I revealed to him Romans 8:28. If you can pull Romans 8:28.
Yeah, before we go there, my friend, before we go there, if you go to the Old Testament, if you go to Jeremiah 24, for example, and I put it on the screen, it's actually a parable, right? Because the God, in example, Jeremiah 24, he used to call the people or compare the people of Israel, the Israelites, he used to compare them to figs, both good and rotten figs. When Jesus cursed the fig tree, he symbolically placed a curse on Israel for not accepting him as the Messiah. The reason for that curse is straightforward. The fig tree, i.e. Israel itself, failed to bear fruit. And what is fruit? Faith in him. Even though the leaves itself indicate it was in season, right? But due its lack of fruit, to its lack of faith, the fig tree withered. So that's how it is a parable. So the fig tree is a symbol, right? God comparing figs over and over in the Bible in many places, right?
Right.
To the non-believing Israelites, the Israelites who lost faith and must be condemned, right?
And Romans 8:28, to add to what you said, it says that all things worketh together for the good. So when it's saying that Jesus is hungry, that actually works together for the good, because by Jesus being hungry, it basically was the gateway for him to go to the tree and to use the tree as an example. So as I told the Abdul, I was like, hunger plus fig tree equals the spiritual parable that was being told.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's the unfolding of the event, because you have like the hunger and then the fig tree. Yeah. And then when you put them together, they correlate with each other. So that's the only thing that, it was doing in the story. And since...
Yeah, my friend, these idiots, sorry to interrupt, but these idiots, they don't know their own Quran. They don't know, and we've spoken today about it, they can't even read the Arabic and understand that actually the Quran is confirming the death of Jesus on the cross and his resurrection. But they want to teach us our Holy Bible while they have never read it, right? They don't read it in context. They have no idea what it's all about. They have no idea that Jesus is comparing Israel with the fig tree, and it's nothing but a parable, right? And Jesus, he went there with his apostles to show them, look, it doesn't mean that Jesus does not know. He's not all-knowing. He knows, but he needed to take his apostles with him to prove to them, so they can be an eyewitness, that this tree, it has no fruits on it. And when he cursed it, it became crystal clear that he is giving them a parable, because Jesus used to give many parables. This is not the only one, right? Jesus used to talk in many parables, give many parables, and this was one of them. Cursing the fig tree means cursing the Israelites who had no faith, who did not accept him as the Messiah, their Savior. That's what it means. And by cursing the tree, he was showing what would happen. For example, in 70 AD, when the Romans destroyed the temple. Bam!
Right.
Ignoramus Muslims, man. Spiritual dead Muslims, man.
And Brother Rob, another thing, you know how they say, oh, why did Jesus curse the fig? What did the fig do? But I have a hadith in front of me right now that would get them busted. Because if you want to bring it up, it's narrated Abdullah ibn Umar.
Just a second.
And the first words is, the prophet said, Allah has cursed wine. If you pull it up.
Let me see if
I'm about to get them busted real big with this.
I think I found it.
Is it on the screen?
Yes. Go ahead. Read it.
All right, I'm going to read it. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar. And everybody listen to this. This is how you get the Muslims busted when they talk about Jesus cursed the fig and the fig didn't do anything. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar. The prophet said, Allah has cursed wine, its drinker, its server, its seller, its buyer, the presser, the one for whom it is pressed, the one who conveys it, and the one to whom it is conveyed. So in this hadith, it gets Muslims busted two ways. Because number one, wine is created from a natural process called fermentation. The wine ferments.
So we are back to exposing the idiot, the false potato, the abd, which means slave, and also the donkey, Ibn Donkey, Rob Christian, about the fig tree. In Matthew chapter 21 verse 19, the verse goes as, and when he saw, meaning Jesus, a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said to it, let no fruit grow on you henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. Now they are saying that I used a website, a Christian website, which is a certified Christian website, askquestions.com, which proved them wrong and said that Jesus expected to find. So he thought they might find some figs. And they said that I should use the Bible Hub translation. Okay, so when we go to Gill's exposition of the entire Bible, okay, it clearly says, and when he saw a fig tree, in the Greek text it is one fig tree, one remarkable fig tree, he must see a great many as he went along, for a large tract of the Mount of Olives was full of fig trees, and therefore called Bethphage. And notice has been taken already of the figs of Bethany, but he saw none that had such large and spreading leaves as this. For it was time of the fig trees was just budding and putting forth its leaves, whereof he took notice of it, and though it was afar off, as Mark says, yet being hungry, he made up to it, expecting, right? He made up to it, he went close to it, expecting from its promising appearance to find fruit on it. So he was expecting to find fruit on it. This fig tree was in the way, but the road by the roadside, and probably had no owner, was common to anybody, and so no injury was done to any person by losing it. He came to it, okay, and found nothing thereon but leaves only. Mark says he came in happily, he might find anything thereon, which must be understood of him as man. Okay, for he was hungered as a man, so he judged and expected as a man. Expected as a man from the appearance of the fig tree, that he might find fruit on it. So this clearly shows that, according to some Christians, that they said, oh, he was man at this time, so he didn't know. Just like they claimed that, oh, he knew the hour, so he was hungry like a man, he slept like a man, so he took on man form. So that means his knowledge is limited to a man. So clearly shows that Jesus did not know. He expected to find if there was figs on it. Also, we find in the pulpit commentary, when he saw a single fig tree, okay, if we go skim closer, the sight of the leaves thereon as scent mark tells us attracted the notice of Christ, who beheld with pleasure and prospect of relieving his long abstinence with the refreshment of cool and juicy fruit. He came to it, knowing the nature of the tree, and that under circumstances the fruit ripens before the leaves are fully out. Jesus naturally expected to find on it some figs. So he expected, meaning before he did not know that there were leaves on it. But he did not know that there were taksh or figs on it. So he expected, he went closer to it, expected to find some figs fit to eat. Okay. Further, besides the fruit which comes to maturity in the usual way during the summer, there are often late figs produced in the autumn, which hang on the tree during the winter and ripen at the awakening of vegetation in the spring. This proves here, okay, that Jesus naturally expected to find on it some figs, and he did not know from far away that there would be figs on it. So this is what I have to say. We expose these idiots, Rob Christian and the false potato, okay, and we end it off here. Now going back to the hadith about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursing the wine, Inna Allah la'ana al-khamra, you can never find this in al-Bukhari and Muslim. And second of all, the rawi, the narrator, is Abdullah ibn Umar from Sunan Abi Dawood, as you can see here. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar from Sunan Abi Dawood. It was graded by Al-Albani as Sahih, okay, as you can see in Muhaddith Al-Albani, okay. But Khalasat Hukm al-Hadith, like the majority and the rule that came over the conclusion of the hadith, is that it has Muhammad ibn Abi Humayd, which is da'if, wa Abu Tawbata lam a'rifhu, and Abu Tawbah, I do not know him, is unknown. And so Muhammad ibn Abi Humayd is da'if, weak. About Inna Allah la'ana al-khamra, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed the wine. You don't see this passage in any of the Sahih hadith that Allah curses wine, but he curses those who make the wine and those who drink it and those who basically give it for others to drink, right? So this hadith, as you can see in front of you, is da'if, so you have busted the false prophet. And lastly, to confirm that this hadith is weak, so most Christians don't say, oh, you're using taqiyya deception, let me translate it for you. Da'if, right? Let's go Google Translate. Da'if, weak, okay. And now we go back, and wa Abu Tawbah lam a'rifu, I did not know him, so he's unknown. Let's go back. I did not know him. Thank you very much. And now I'm home again with you. You're busted, Jacob. You chase the clouds away whenever I am blue. And I almost forgot one more thing to bust this Jacob for good. I'm just going to translate that this is the hadith that he's talking about by Abdullah ibn Umar. Okay, so he doesn't say, oh, you're using a deception, you're using taqiyya, you're using this, blah blah blah. These Christian idiots, they say Abdullah ibn Umar as the narrator. Okay, we go back. If we see Inna Allah la'ana al-khamr, Allah cursed the wine, about this hadith that is da'if. Okay, so God cursed the wine. Assalamu alaikum.